Okay, so hello everybody and thank you for joining us today. Today's webinar will be about how to understand Microsoft Lync 2013 in 30 minutes. We have Chris Glass from Intercal and Alistair Cumberworth from Intercal today, who will just give you a brief run through of Lync itself along with a demo, and we then have Chris Swanee here from Bytes, who will just go through the licensing considerations. So just before we begin the webinar, just a couple of housekeeping details for you. The webinar will be recorded, so it will be made available to you all afterwards, and we will be sending out a copy of that recording should you wish to forward it on to anybody. During the webinar you can submit any questions that you may have. You should see a questions box there on the right hand side. So if you just type your question into there and we will answer it in the Q&A session at the end. All of your microphones and telephones will be muted, so any questions that you do have, if you can just pop them in the box, that would be brilliant. And as I said, there is a Q&A session at the end, so we'll make sure all of those do get answered for you. At the end of the webinar there's also a critique form that will show up. If you can fill that in, that would be brilliant, because obviously we appreciate any feedback that you can give to us. And if you do would like to know any further information about anything that's been covered in the webinar, or you'd like a call back from us, from one of our Bytes specialists, then you can pop your details in there and we will obviously get back in touch with you and follow up with that. So I'm now going to pass over to Chris Glass from Intercal, and he will just give you a brief overview of Lync.
Sarah, thank you very much. Good morning everyone, and thank you very much for attending. It gives me great pleasure to talk about Lync 2013, the benefits it can provide by leveraging Lync into your infrastructure. We're going to follow an agenda which can follow through an agenda. First of all, we'll start off with why customers are choosing Lync as their UC strategy. So we'll be going through some of the business and technical benefits of around Lync and why it should be part of a UC strategy. We're going into a very brief customer case study, which will use some anecdotal evidence of what Lync has done in terms of providing a return of investment and increasing and improved productivity for a particular customer. And then we're going to hand over to Alistair Cumberworth, who's going to demonstrate Lync and give you a brief dry run of Lync server demonstration, followed by an Intercal overview of our capabilities as a UC SI. And then following that, call to action, and handing over then to Chris Swanee regarding license considerations. So the next slide is around why customers choose Lync, or why Lync. And just to sort of cover off what Lync is, Lync is an application which connects employees, partners, and customers wherever they are, helping to reduce costs and increase business productivity and responsiveness. Lync delivers an end-to-end unified communication solution which gives staff a consistent experience of presence, IM, voice, and video across PCs, Macs, phones, and browsers. So what is driving this, and why are customers building out Lync solutions? Well, some recent market research has shown that 82% of businesses allow now flexible working. 3 out of 4 managers believe flexible working increases productivity. 3 out of every 5 employees believe they do not need to be in the office to be productive. 16% of UK workers considered leaving their job in the last 2 years because of their commute length or journey time. And 84% of organizations now have a remote workforce. So Lync not only actually provides that sort of connectivity, but also improves and increases productivity and responsiveness. Lync brings the future of communications to your business, and UC transforms the business communications to raise productivity. And Lync provides that user experience of a single client collaboration. So there are really 3 key pillars of value that Lync brings. The first one is around increase of productivity. The second one is ease of use. And thirdly, and as important, is the return of investment. So regarding productivity and using Lync enables faster collaboration and time to market as a big driver that we've been hearing from many of our customers. And a lot of feedback has been around improving worker productivity and allowing users to see their colleagues and external business contacts, their status, and giving people the ability to communicate in the way they want to, anytime, anywhere. It also makes the user to get information they need at a time to make them more effective and more efficient. So interestingly enough, another piece of information that we managed to glean is that now 50% of enterprise, 50% of calls in the enterprise are made from a mobile device. So a big area around this is around sort of business productivity, speed of process, transactional processes in the workplace, and particularly around customers' expectations around their service and their expectations, the customers' expectation for service to improve. So they demand a much more responsive level of service. And employees must maintain their sort of productivity in the office, and it's expected almost for employees to retain their productivity not just in the office but also when they're out on the road or at home even, to meet any customer's expectations. So businesses are also anticipating a growing proportion of their workforces to be telecommuters or remote workers in the marketplace. And Lync delivers all of these sort of capabilities where employees can communicate with colleagues and customers in real time from virtually anywhere, as long as they have an IP-enabled device. Staff have the tools. Obviously, it's a concern to ensure that staff have the tools, that they're able to connect securely, and also that companies have the ability, by using Lync, to save money in real time with supporting so many more remote remote workers. Then at least it means there's a consideration to perhaps reduce the size of office space or real estate, and this ultimately provides a lot of value in terms of a direct cost savings to a business in terms of reducing office space. In addition to this, with improving productivity with connected experiences, employees need to take are able to take action more quickly and able to provide feedback with minimum effort. Obviously, there's a big spin-off benefits in terms of speed to market. And employees use the presence information to be able to connect to many multiple contacts using Lync through Federation or even through Skype, connecting out over the internet. And not to mention the operational efficiencies that can be gained from using Lync by integrating unified communications and rich presence into business workflow applications, and removing any type of latency and delay that can be caused by not having that type of virtual communication. So the other part of Lync, which is that we're finding that a lot of businesses are becoming more interested in, is around regulatory compliance, and Lync has the ability to deliver all of that type of regulatory compliance, where, for example, recording, archiving, and archiving call details. So the other part of Lync, which is obviously for the success of the adoption and the use of Lync and making it as least disruptive as possible, is its ease of use. And Microsoft Lync as being on a Microsoft platform, and with 90% of employees all will have used Microsoft in one form or another on the desktop, would mean that with multiple devices which are accessible using Lync, then the user interface is very intuitive, easy to use and familiar to the user, and businesses don't want staff or employees to actually lose out or to lose out on how to figure out to use devices or applications. Lync is familiar, easy to use, and very intuitive. And in terms of return on investment, The direct cost savings are there. They're very tangible. There's a substantial saving to be gained out of travel, where people are able to meet virtually through video, through audio conferencing calls, and they're able to actually schedule meetings. That obviously reduces the needs for meeting rooms in a lot of cases, but a very direct cost saving can be from reduction of travel. There's also the opportunity to reduce substantial cost savings through the consolidation of disjointed services. For example, PSTN calls, TDM charges, PBX voice calls, standard calls, reduced tolls, mobile calls and roaming charges. All of these can be substantial factors in terms of determining a return of investment from Lync. So controlling costs using voice over IP enables that communication around geographically dispersed organizations or locations, and without a business actually incurring long distance charges. The cost savings can be fairly substantial. Not to mention that with any type of large organization, there is probably a very large a cost around audio conferencing using an external service provider. And again, Lync has the ability to replace and completely eliminate audio conferencing charges. So the indirect cost saving or benefits of deploying Lync is, and these are some of the factors that are coming out and particularly driving some of the particular deployments that we've been involved with very recently, are factors such as reducing the time cycle, or the cycle time for critical business processes. A lot of businesses are looking at business process improvement. Lync and its integration into lines of businesses and the ERP or CRM applications can actually provide the opportunity to reduce and improve business processes, or perhaps enhance communications-enabled business processes. But effectively, some of the big benefits really from Lync, or the key benefits, are reducing travel, reducing telephony costs, helping productivity, improving workflow, and effectively driving efficiencies. So that's so moving on to this, and then I want to share with you a case study regarding a company that Intercall have been working with for some time now. Plantronics are a global organization. They have been on the UC journey for a little time now, and it's quite an interesting case study to share with you. Back in 2009, we deployed Microsoft OCS for Plantronics, and soon after that, and that was Microsoft OCS R1, and then we upgraded this to Microsoft R2, OCS R2. And then shortly after this, Plantronics had introduced into their organization a mobile working program called Smarter Working. And 80% of their employees are actually eligible for this, in terms of employees that work a major part of their time outside of the office, working remotely from home or traveling. And so Plantronics were very focused around the work-life balance, and to ensure that they were able to gain the productivity from their employees, but also manage the challenges around the work-life balance. And consequently, the collaboration, the ability to collaborate within the organization was really one of the key priorities for the organization as really a means to sustain its employee excellence in a very competitive marketplace. So soon after this, and soon evaluating their type of strategy that they would like to sort of follow, and they appointed Intercall as the UC partner to provide all the professional services around software, hardware support. So effectively giving us the opportunity to assess, develop and deploy a UC solution. We recommended Lync. We recommended Lync as a solution, and primarily to help Plantronics take advantage of the enterprise voice capabilities that Lync had to offer, but also to replace its legacy of via PBX estates with net gateways and SIP sessions across their European operations. Endpoints were also refreshed to include handsets and tabletop conferencing devices from Polycom. So two of Plantronics' largest overheads were call charges and real estate. And since the Lync 2010 deployment, the business has effectively saved 30% using effectively Lync technology and SIP trunking. And even as the number of conference calls had risen from 100 per month to 1,200 per month, Plantronics also saved $200,000 in terms of real estate and office space. So Plantronics really did increase their productivity. So they also believe that every user saved around an hour a day in trying to locate and contact colleagues. But ultimately, Unified Communications delivered 30% savings and really provided, in essence, a speed to time to market as a global headset manufacturer. So with that, I'd like to now hand over to Alistair Cumberworth, who's now going to take you through Lync demo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Good morning, everybody. So I'll just wait for Chris to change the presenter. There we go. Just bear with me 1 second. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to take you through a very quick tour of Microsoft Lync and all the communication modalities that come within Microsoft Lync. So first off, we have here the client interface. As you can see, it's nice Windows 8, very easy to use, very easy to navigate around. Up here's the social networking element, which just allows people to see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So can put anything in there at all. Down here, you can see my picture, which is stored in Active Directory, and users have control over what pictures they want publicised as well. You can also control that now from Exchange or Outlook 2013. What you'll see here now is I'm currently in a meeting. So on the right-hand side of my screen here, I'm actually dialed in using enterprise voice capabilities from our Lync platform into the conference itself. So this is presence. So as you can see, I can change my presence details onto whatever I want, and this is the real heart of Microsoft Lync. So these are what Microsoft like to refer to as the jelly bean status, which you'll find in most Microsoft applications in terms of integration. And wherever you see these jelly beans, it allows you to pull up a full list of contact card of whoever the person is that you're viewing. Down here you've got location awareness as well. So for people with multiple offices, and geographically dispersed, they can set their location, and it does that through VLAN tagging. So if somebody's in the same office as you and you want to go and speak to them, it'll show you that they're in the same office. If we go through here, this is new contacts. So we've got new contact invites, conversation histories, as Chris alluded to. All these are archived. And then we've got the dial pad here for anybody that still likes to have a sort of soft dial pad. Generally, what I tend to do is dial the number in here, or cut and paste the number, and then make a call out. The left hand is the menu, so we've got our file there, which just allows us to sign out or change the sign-in address. You've got multiple SIP domains. Go down into tools. You've always got the recording manager. You can also go into your device settings as well, and call forward settings, dialing conferencing settings, and response groups as well. I'll go into that in a bit more detail shortly. We go down here as well. These are sort of shortcut keys as well, so you can see that my call forwarding is off at the moment, but if I want to forward calls to my mobile when people are trying to dial me via PSTN, then I can do, or I can have simultaneous ring on there as well. So all my devices, my Polycom CX600 handset and my mobile device will ring at the same time. And again there you can just see the different devices I'm currently using, so my handset and my headset. So if I go into here, you've got the groups. So I have everything collapsed into groups, and what you'll see is obviously there's a lot of contacts in there, and that's achieved via federation. So if I click onto Microsoft, it lists all my contacts within Microsoft there. We just hover over Carly Hallett's contact details, and then we've got obviously the different ways that we can communicate with Carly. So I can send her an IM, I can call her on Lync, video call, I'll see her contact card. Again, more options. If we go down into the options here, I can remove from group, remove from contact list, and tag for status change alerts. Now this is really handy for me, so if I have people that I speak to on a daily basis that I know are busy all the time, as and when they come available, it will then pop up in the bottom of my screen to tell me that that person's available. So whereas you'd usually send an email, leave a voicemail, chase somebody on the telephone, and maybe wait a while for them to come back, you can easily tag them and then get on with your work until they become available. So I'm just going to go into a quick test. So I'm going to search my directory. So this is not only is it searching Microsoft Lync, but it's also searching all my directories as well. So my directory in Outlook. So you'll see there that's an Outlook contact, and some down here as well. We're just going to hover over Alex, who's one of my colleagues. He's a project manager. So if we just look here, I'm just going to click on him. He's currently in a conference call at the moment. We just hover over there. You can see his details. I'm just going to see if he's free. And we're going to use Alex for a bit of a demo. So Alex has my iPad at the moment. So this is really demonstrating the ability to do mobility. So whether you have an iPad, whether you have a Windows 8 device, whatever it is, no matter where you are, as long as you're on a wireless network, you have all this functionality in front of you that I'm showing at the moment. So we'll just double check that he's ready, so that's good. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shut that window down there. So you'll see here, this is the conference that I'm currently in. I'm going to pull Alex into this conference. Now this is the real simplicity of Microsoft Lync. You can just hover over somebody, click on them, and pull them into the call. Conference call, and we can see Alex here. So this is just on Microsoft Lync at the moment. What I'm going to do is just show link-to-link functionality first of all. There we go. Very good morning, Alex.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Fantastic. So, Alex, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull you in on the iPad. So the iPad is under my alias there. So that's me. I'm on a different demo platform. So my iPad's connected to our demo platform, which is on a different SIP domain. So what I'm going to do now is remove Alex from here, which you can see is very easy to do. I just right-hand click remove, and then I'm going to pull him in on the iPad. So just drag and drop again. So this is now connecting to my iPad. We'll just give Alex a couple of seconds to answer the call there.
Hi, everybody.
Ah, fantastic. Hi, Alex, again. So, Alex, we're just going to start video now.
Sure.
We'll escalate to video conference. Apologies for any latency you may see here. Obviously, this is a live demonstration. So, Alex, could you just quickly introduce yourself?
Hello, it's Alex Little here, Project Manager.
Fantastic. Have you started your video, Alex?
Yes, I can see yourself.
Brilliant. Excellent. So now we've obviously started from a conference call. We're now escalated to a video conference call. So all of this is the Lync meeting and obviously the replacement of conferencing. So I'm going to show you around what else we can do here. So we just start over here. We have our dial pad. So if I want to dial out to somebody on their mobile, I can just quickly put the number in there and bring them in. If I need to change my devices, I can do that also, depending on what I'm on. So if I needed to transfer the call to my mobile, if I was going out into the car, I can transfer it to my mobile and seamlessly carry on with the conference. Let's close that down there. Here as well, I can present, so I can put in an attachment, I can put in a PowerPoint, I can use a whiteboard. It's a real collaboration aspects of Microsoft Lync. And also you have the ability to do desktop sharing as well, so if you need to go in and work collaboratively on a document, it's very straightforward and easy to do. And again, if I want to invite more contacts, I could just click here, go on to invite more people. And again, it'll allow me to choose from a list of my Lync contacts, or I can just, again, type in a name and pull somebody in on the mobile. Very simple. So, Alex, thank you very much. I'm going to remove you now from here.
Thank you.
Okay. There we go. I'm just going to minimize that down now and pull that back. So what I want to show you now is the Microsoft Outlook integration. So we'll quickly go into the mail here. So what you'll see here, just find an email. So we're inside, obviously, Microsoft Outlook, and again, wherever you see the jelly beans, you can hover over them, you can IM people, and do everything that you can see and it's been demonstrated to you in the main window. In terms of scheduling meetings, just go into Microsoft Outlook here, go into the calendar, open up as if you were going to not schedule a normal meeting, go into the Lync meeting element here, and click on that, and then obviously send that out to whoever you want to join the meeting. Very straightforward and very easy. And that's the whole idea behind Microsoft Lync, is the simplicity for users to be able to use it effectively and be able to communicate with other people, whether internally or externally, very simply. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm now going to hand back over to Chris Glass.
Great, thank you very much, Alistair. Right, I'm going to go on to my next slide and just talk a little bit about who Integral is, working closely with Spike. With Integral, we're one of the world's largest and leading Lync integration and software as a service provider. We have over thousands of Microsoft deployments from OCS R1 right up to Lync Server 2013. We have a very deep knowledge and experience of voice integration. We've specialized competencies in UC and customer developed solutions, all built around Lync. We've even developed one or two very unique solutions around integrating audio conferencing platforms into Lync as well. In the UK, we're a Microsoft Tier 1 partner for voice. We're a member of the Microsoft Voice Partner Program and also a member of the Microsoft Adoption Program, or TAP program. So currently we're in the TAP program for different types of work streams. One is Lync hosted Pack 2, which is Lync 2013 as a multi-tenanted hosted platform. We're also in a TAP program now for Lync 2013 to provide what some people may know is the E4 SKU, which is a hybrid solution where enterprises may have deployed Exchange online into the cloud, and we have already built this out with Lync 2010, and we're proving this out with Lync 2013 and writing the technical documentation where we're able to deploy enterprise voice with Lync where customers have deployed Exchange online in the cloud. This is a very exciting development. A lot of enterprises have deployed Exchange in the cloud, and this obviously provides and leverages Lync as an enterprise voice platform to work and coexist with Exchange in the cloud. The other part of this is that we've got some very deep multi-vendor integration experiences, particularly with the traditional PBX type of providers, particularly where a lot of companies don't want to rip and replace everything, but want to leverage their asset base and to actually integrate where possible and where necessary. So Intercal as a business has got some very extensive set of capabilities, particularly to support Lync environments, and really very much in the area of our voice capabilities. And just very recently, we have just become what is known as a PSLP, which is a Premier Support for Lync partner provider. So we provide support. So we provide support for Lync solutions. So in addition to this, we build Lync on-prem solutions. That's what we do, particularly around voice, to leverage the return on investments of businesses. We also provide hosted services, whether they're multi-tenanted or dedicated as well, hosted in the private or public cloud. So with that, moving on to the next slide, what I would like to perhaps just mention and to discuss a little bit about is, following this very brief presentation, is a call to action. So our recommendation is to sort of establish and perhaps to explore the opportunity of Lync and how that can support, and where we're able to gain all the benefits from Lync is to contact your Bytes account manager. That will engage us Intercal as the voice and Lync experts. You'll be able to send a tell me more email back, or which should be written into the last slide of this deck. And there's also a survey with a callback form as well. But with that, I'd like to now pass over to Chris Swanee.
Okay, hi. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alistair, for that. What I'm going to take you through now for the next few minutes is just some of the licensing considerations around Lync. There's quite a lot of different licenses that you need to be aware of, and dependent on the way you're going to be running Lync, be it on-premise or online through the cloud, then it has an effect on which licenses you need to buy. So just as a starter, there's two sides to Lync, licensing Lync. Firstly, if you're going to be doing it on-premise, then there's server licenses and client access licenses. And then if you want to do it through Office 365 or Lync Online, then there are various Lync plans and Office 365 plans. What's happened with the release of Lync 2013 is that there used to be two types of server licenses, the Lync Enterprise Server and the Lync Standard Server. With Lync 2013, these have now been consolidated into one single server license. So that's Lync Server 2013. And one server license is required for each server role that you're deploying out there per server. To connect to Lync, then you do need client access licenses for either all of your users or all of your devices, and I'll go on to the user and device bit in a little while. So you start off always with the Lync Standard CAL 2013, and the version of the CAL must give the access to the version of the server. Adding on to that, you can add the Lync Enterprise CAL, and then there is the Lync Plus CAL as well, and I'll go through what each of those give you very shortly. Here's a table. I'm not going to dwell too much on each and every point on this. It'll take me quite a while if I do, but this basically gives you the functionality differences between the different types of client access license. So in the columns headed on premise, you've got the standard CAL, the enterprise CAL, and the plus CAL. And what the enterprise CAL gives you is extended features regarding conferencing and conferencing capability, and the Plus CAL gives you the enterprise voice capability. The standard CAL just gives you the your rich present capability, your group chat, and federation as well. On the online side, there are three Lync online plans, Plan 1, Plan 2, and Plan 3. Plan 1 just gives you a really basic Lync connectivity, but Plan 2 and Plan 3, you can see there's a much more comprehensive capability, almost up to the standards of the Enterprise CAL. So how are the licenses all put together? So you start off with the server license if you're going to do an on-premise deployment, and as I said before, a license is required for each front-end server role on that, and there's one edition now. Previously there was two editions. You then need the client access licenses, the standard CAL, like I said before, presence, instant messaging, peer-to-peer, voice over IP, and video. Enterprise CAL gives those the meetings and conferencing, and the Plus CAL gives the enterprise voice. If you're going to go down the online route, then you have the Plan 1, Plan 2, and Plan 3 in relation to your user subscription licenses. And these are always user-based client access licenses, user-based because they're user subscription licenses. The on-premise client access licenses can actually be device or user. And then finally you've got the client license. Now this client license is actually the software that's running on the end device in order for you to use Lync. It's not the actual access license which gives you the rights to access Lync server, it's the software itself. And there's a number of ways you can get that. So Lync 2013, the full rich client, is licensed via Office Professional Plus, or you can buy it separately. What you can also get is the Lync Windows 8 client, so that's a lighter client, that's free of charge. There's a mobile client, so depending on whether you've got Android, Windows Phone, iPhone, you can download Lync clients for those. And there's also a Lync Basic client, which is a free download if you don't want the full feature list of the full Lync 2013 client. I'll go on to those clients a little bit later, but firstly what I want to talk about is the user and device-based type of licensing. All Microsoft licenses you can buy in either user-based formats or a device-based, and it really depends on how your users are accessing the server. So if you've got devices that are shared between users, so fewer devices than users, you may prefer to use device CALs. However, if you've got people who use multiple devices, so they use their PC, they use phones, tablets, etc., or they want to have mobility, so they use PCs from in different locations, such as from home, then you may actually prefer to go and purchase the user-based client access license. Just going back to the actual client software itself, so we start off with the Lync 2013 client. This is the full feature product. It's licensed via Office Professional Plus. You can also buy it separately itself. In the grid on the bottom right-hand corner, you've got the Lync 2013, and you can see there that it's actually showing all of the functionality. You get the full rich features there. With the Lync Windows Store app, it just gives you much more of a cut down, but that's free of charge. Again, mobile clients, again, it just gives you a very light touch access to Lync. But then, if you have a PC client and you want the basic functionality of Lync, but you don't have Office Professional Plus, then you can actually download what's something called Lync Basic 2013, and you can see there it gives you the basic functionalities and access to Lync. The Lync client access licenses can also be bought as part of Microsoft licensing suites, and Microsoft offer two licensing suites. There's the Core CAL Client Access License Suite, and there's the Enterprise CAL Client Access Licensing Suite. These are more commonly bought via enterprise type agreements. Again, speak to your Bytes account manager to determine if you've got access to any of these. The Core CAL Client Access License Suite, though, just gives you the Lync Standard CAL, whereas if you've got access to the Enterprise CAL Client Access License Suite, you get the Lync Standard CAL and the Lync Enterprise CAL in that, but the Plus CAL is not included in those. You can license Lync online through Office 365, and this is a suite of online capabilities from Microsoft encompassing SharePoint Online, Exchange Online, obviously Lync Online, and dependent on the plan you go for, Office 365 Pro Plus. So with this plan E1, it just gives you basic instant messaging and presence, as does E3 and E4, but E3 gives you more comprehensive online access to the other applications, but E4 also includes the enterprise voice capability as well. Just as an example, really, I do realise these are in dollar prices, and the pricing will vary dependent on the type of licensing agreement that you actually have. And again, speak to your Bytes account manager to determine which license agreement you have or which license agreement you could get access to. Then this basically shows the breakdown of pricing, Lync server coming in at $3,646, but you can see there the client access licenses are either bought outright or user subscription licenses are bought on a monthly type of basis. If you've previously licensed Lync with software assurance, then there are some migration paths you do need to be aware of. So if you've had versions 2010, the server versions, be it server standard, server enterprise, or the external connector licenses, then the successor product, if you go to Lync 2013, is just simply Lync server. The 2010 CALs to 2013 CALs map like for like. However, there is some grandfathering rights should you have had access to Office Communications Server, which is the old name for Lync, and that's shown on the next slide. The Lync online plans, they map straight across, and the clients, they more or less map straight across. Some of them were only available, though, for version 2013. I mentioned the grandfathering rights. When we had Office Communications Server 2007, the enterprise client license there included the enterprise voice functionality. However, on the release of Lync 2010, that enterprise voice functionality was pulled out of the enterprise CAL, and a new client access license, so that the Lync Plus CAL was created to have that enterprise voice capability. However, if you purchased OCS Enterprise CAL or eCAL Suite before July 1st, 2009, and you maintain software assurance on that, then you would get a complimentary Plus CAL with software assurance until the first renewal of software assurance after the general availability of Lync 2013. Similarly, if you purchased OCS Enterprise CAL or eCAL Suite after July 1st, 2009, but before December 10th, 2010, then and you maintain the software assurance and that, then you get a Lync Plus CAL complimentary until your first software assurance after general availability of Lync 2010. Again, if you want to delve deeper into that and find out exactly what your entitlement may be around that, then speak to your Bytes account manager and they'll guide you through that, and they'll help you identify what actual client licensing you have and what client licenses you're entitled to. And finally, just some notes at the end here. We've already talked about user CALs or device CALs, but you just need to be aware that some shared devices such as conference phones, IP phones, kiosks, hot desking devices, if they're used by multiple users who don't have their user CALs, then you will need a device client access license for Lync for those. Also, devices such as USB peripherals and analog devices don't require any client licensing at all. We used to have with Lync 2010, there used to be what's known as the external connector license, and this was to allow client licensing for individuals who are not employees or contractors to your organization. With the release of Lync Server 2013, the external connector license was is now built into the server itself. So there's no separate external connector license. So those external users, you can actually have them running on Lync 2013 with you. And finally, just some prerequisites. If you're going to be buying Lync, then you'll need some other server software to go with it. So Lync Server 2013, it runs on Windows Server, so you will need to have a Windows Server running in order to install Lync Server. And dependent on the size of organization or the number of users, you will also need SQL Server as well. However, if you've got fewer than 5,000 users, then you may use SQL Server Express, so that's free of charge. If you've got more than 5,000, then you will need to actually go up and move up and run it on the full-fat SQL Server. Some additional scenarios: if you're going to be using it for unified messaging, then you'll need obviously Microsoft Exchange Server licensed as well and installed. If you're going to be using the skill search functionality, then that actually connects through to Microsoft SharePoint Server. And if you want the interoperability with Microsoft Office, then you're actually going to need Microsoft Office itself. Okay, so that's me. What we can move on to now is if you have any questions for anybody, so be it for Intercall, Chris or Alistair, there is a questions and answer session we've got now, and we can go through those questions. And what I'll do is I'll read the questions out as we go through. So I'll give you a few minutes just to type those. But firstly, we've got a question. Can we have a copy of the slides, especially the licensing one? Yes, these will be posted on the Bytes website. All of our webinars are recorded, and the slides will be posted. Again, if you want any further help with licensing of those, then it's really important you speak to your Bytes account manager. They are the licensing experts, and they will really be able to look at what your requirements are, be it online or on-premise, and be able to guide you through the licensing requirements that you need there, as well as those grandfathering rights, any software assurance benefits as well. If you've got enterprise agreements, then there's deployment package services for Lync, and we can use, obviously, we can get Intercall engaged with those as well. So I'm just waiting for any more questions to come through. Has anybody got any more questions? Just wait another minute or so for that. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions here. What about Lync 2013 full featured client having been purchased as Lync 2010 client? Okay. Whenever you buy Lync or any Microsoft license, you always buy the latest version of that license. And so if you buy Lync 2013, either the client license or the client software today, you'll be buying it as 2013, but that will allow you to downgrade to the 2010 version. Similarly, if you've got Lync 2010 client access licenses and you want to upgrade, or client licenses, and you want to upgrade to Lync 2013, then unless you have software assurance to give you which will give you entitlement, depending on the duration of your software assurance, to Lync 2013, if you're going to want to upgrade, then you'll need to buy the new versions of the licenses. I hope that answers your question. Here's another one. Are there any call center features in Lync? I think that's probably a question for Chris or Alistair at Intercall. Are you able to answer that?
Yeah, it's Alistair.
Okay.
So there are limited contact center functionalities already built into Lync. So it allows you to have IVR, also hunt groups as well. As you see with SharePoint, it allows you to do skills-based lookup groups. You can also do things like response groups as well. So it does give you a certain level of contact center functionality, but we also do work with third-party suppliers who build real depth into the contact center. So you get all the ACDs and wallboards and dashboards and everything else that you'd want in a sort of true contact center environment.
Okay, thank you for that, Alistair. Here's another question. Any limitations for external users who need no licensing? Basically, the external connector license, it gives you the full access to Lync for those external users and federating with people. So I don't believe there's any major limitations. Again, probably best have a chat with your account manager, depending on what specific pieces of functionality you're thinking of there. Similarly, yeah, Ian, yeah, talk to the account manager. There's probably a number of different scenarios there. And I'm just having a look now. Has the Lync attendant been upgraded, or is it the same current version for Lync 2010? Again, Chris, Alistair, have you got a view on that one?
It's not being upgraded. It is still the Lync 2010 client for the
Fine. All right. Okay. How are RIM Blackberries supported? if there is a Lync client available for them, then again that can be downloaded from the various marketplaces that they support. I'm not sure off the top of my head whether there is a BlackBerry. Again, Chris or Alistair, do you know about that one?
Yes, you can integrate Lync into the bed server to give that functionality on the BlackBerry devices.
Okay, thank you. Will EC users still need the CALs? I'm presuming EC you're meaning external connector users. If you are, then they don't need client access licenses for Lync 2013. For 2010, you would need an external connector license. I hope that answers your question. If I've got the meaning of EC wrong there, then let me know. Okay. Any more questions from anybody? Okay, don't see any more questions coming through. So if you do have any more questions, then email your account manager or tell me more at bytes.co.uk. Thank you very much for your time. I'd like to thank Chris Glass and Alistair Cumberworth from Intercall as well for their help with this. So if you have any further questions, speak to your account manager. If you want to engage with Intercall, again, speak to your Bytes account manager and we'll get them engaged for you. And don't forget to fill out the feedback questionnaire as well. We do appreciate the feedback and it helps us to ensure the quality of these sessions. So thank you very much.